getting their heads ripped off, and then it's just fired up, and we're live. What's up, everybody who's not here yet, but who will be here in the future, possibly? I am here with my boy Matt from Pugwall. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, it's awesome to see you. It's really, really cool. It's been too long. I remember
Yeah, I
saying to
know.
you, like, oh, we'll get into
I
2025.
know, and then things just got. You
2025
were
was like a
busy, and then
shit
I
show.
went through a period that I took semi breaks here and there because I was getting a little burnt
Yeah.
out. Yeah, I think everybody's just had an insane first half of this year.
Yeah,
Like this
it's
year
gonna
just
get
started out
better.
too
It's
well for
gonna,
everybody. Yeah,
Mm.
hopefully it does, and I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure it will. But
me
this
too.
is a movie that you just watched last night for the
Last night,
first
yeah.
time.
I bought it. I bought it on
Oh, awesome! Because you won't regret it after a second watch. Like, I guarantee that. Because this movie fired up for people come in and want to watch it. I'll leave the shit. I didn't copy the look movie. Like, I'll get it if somebody needs it. But this has Eric Christian Olsen, who's hilarious in so many things. Not Another Teen Movie. We're talking backstage is one of them, and that's another
I
favorite
love that film.
teen comedy, sex romp comedy type thing with American Pie, but that's more the spoof. This is like a pretty much a spoof of the cheerleading movies, particularly Bring It On, because they directly have a scene in this where they're all looking at the movie on the grass and they're quoting it line for line and stuff. And the people who own the rights let them use the scenes from Bring It On in there, so they have like a big thank you to whoever owns the rights in the credits at the end. But just the idea of these two football players who get just pussy galore all over high school. And it's
one of my favorite
mission.
James Bond.
Yeah, pussy galore. Yeah, that's a great one. And now, dude, you just reminded me of something I forgot 5 videos ago early this week. But my Fulci video, when I was trying to think of where Barbara Boucher, the non-horror, Casino Royale.
Oh yeah,
the Bond film from '67. That's what I couldn't think of
that
it
one
while I was recording for the life of me.
Oh yeah.
Hey, what's up, Akers? This thing is a fun movie. Hey. Yes, it is. Hey, Stacy.
Hey, Stacy.
Yes, this is a hilarious movie. Hope you're having a good weekend. But yeah, you didn't see it till last night. So what did you?
No, because well, it didn't. It didn't really make it over here. Like a few, really. I mean, it probably.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
Have been in like
it didn't do well here at all. I don't think either.
I think it'd be one of those, a bit like Sugar and Spice or But I'm a Cheerleader, where you could get it. You could get it from say Blockbuster or something, but it wasn't one where there'd be like loads of them. Like there was a few around that time that if they hit, we got to see them. If they didn't hit, then we didn't. It definitely wouldn't have been at the cinema. But I like Eric Christian Olsen from Community. He's the guy Vaughn who says hello 3 times, like "Hi, how you doing?"
I never got big into Community. I used to love The Office, and then I liked Parks and Rec for a bit, and then Community started coming on, and I watched a few episodes, and I laughed a lot. Actually, it's just I never got around to watching it. That's like on my list.
It's one of those, isn't it? You pick around that time. I think you kind of pick the one you're gonna like. I never watched Parks and Rec. I watched Communities, but a lot of people watch Parks and Rec. And
exactly.
Like, oh, you need to watch this, and I never did. So
and then just mad shows go by over the years and movies,
and like
you never get back
he's
to
great in that.
Oh,
he's like he's like the guy. He's like a guy who plays like hacky sack on the lawn, and he starts going out with Britta, who's like one of the lead characters, and all of the others don't like him, and they bond by making fun of him. But I think he's a very good comedic actor in the sense of he's
great.
He's willing to kind of go with it and be quite a big character and put himself out there, and like not another teen movie. I think about him being like, she's a real shit bomb, and like just I like he plays the jock character really well. Obviously, I didn't realize until you told me, because I was like that there's a big gap between Not Another Teen Movie, which I love, and this. So he's like 31 when he was playing a high school senior in this, and it doesn't really matter, but it's funny in that sense. But
then 2 years later is he was in the Thing prequel from 2011. That's 2 years after Fired Up. So I guess he had like a little resurgence, I guess, or maybe he was doing mostly TV stuff in the mid 2000s after Not Another Teen Movie. I forget what happened.
I think he's on like one of those procedural
that sounds
cop show
right,
things for like a long time. A bit like a kind of Chris O'Donnell kind of career where he stops doing movies and then does something for like 10, 15 years on like as a cop. But I found parts of this like there's key parts of this I really enjoyed, and then there's other bits in it where it just reminded me of how old I was, because I was like, oh, I saw that band, and like thinking of them as a relatively new band, and then like, geez, like it starts off with a Razor Light song, and I'm like, and then it's got another couple of, and I was like, this is 2009. It's very much of its time. There's definitely spoof elements. Maybe it falls between two of those. Maybe that's why people are not sure what to make of it.
That's
a bit like but I'm a cheerleader, where people are like, I know this is supposed to be funny, but I'm not sure whether I'm supposed to be laughing with it or at it.
It's very self-aware too. It's very self-aware. It's very cleverly written, and it handles like it makes fun of like you said. It's not a parody, but it's not a serious movie in any way. I mean, it's a comedy, but it's an over-the-top comedy, like real over the top. Well, and real like absurdist humor at times and stuff. But if it works for you, it absolutely works for you.
There's a couple of characters in there that are like. There's the girl who just sort of says little random asides like she's in a completely different film. Like, I want to cut the blonde girl or whatever.
Yeah. That's Margot Hartman from
right. She's great. And then there's the guy who's like so gay.
Yeah,
he's like ridiculously gay. But obviously, I feel like everybody in this film they're either so straight that I start to think that they're gay. Oh, they're so gay that I start to think they're straight.
It's a secret that they're keeping. Oh man, it's gonna be so much fun watching this.
It's a really weird. It's a really weird kind of thing, because John Higgins is it? John Michael Higgins is in it, and I know him from being often in things where he's like a TV presenter, or like in Best in Show, or something like that. And in this, I couldn't work him out, because they start off where I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. He's really weird. He's just weird. And then he's closeted, and it's like, oh, well, I wish he'd have just stayed weird, because they've done the closeted thing a lot. But then I was like, this is 2009, where there's a lot of gay panic. It's every comedy is like, dude, I'm not gay, you know, like it's like, all right, stop saying
so over the top.
Yeah, it's like the more they say, more a character says in a film, I'm not gay, the more I think, like, stop saying you're not gay, man, because you're like you probably are gay.
There's so many little things that you'll pick up on this watch that you didn't notice the first time. I've watched this movie at least a few dozen times, like since it came out. Like this is I'm talking like this top like 20 for me comedies,
right?
Like that's how much I love this movie. And then we were talking backstage, it was in like the spring of the late 2000s when we got Hot Rod, which is another top,
which I love.
I know we did a watch it. That was so much fun. This is going to be even more fun. And then Miss March by the Whitest Kids You Ever Know, that group. That movie came out empty theater. Me and my sister at the time were the only people in the theater watching it. We're like two other people, and we were dying. We were laughing so hard, and it's such a stupid movie.
You don't really get a lot of comedies now, though, do you? Like that, you don't get
not like this, not like
original comedies, and
not like this era. You'll, like we said, this isn't a comedy you'll see
unless it's a sequel. You're not going to really get a brand new one that's on the cinema like this.
This isn't like the type of comedy that you would often see today, or hardly, unless someone's trying to make that type of this type of comedy, like this era, and this absurdist, almost almost meta to a point, like in some way.
Some of it definitely, and like some of the stuff I think what I think about this as well is that it's one of those where horror has survived, and horror still plays at the cinema, and you still, if you have a hit, it gets quite a lot of people at cinema, whereas original comedies, it's harder for them to have a hit and be or even get a release.
They got to be actually funny, and they got to know how to write comedy.
It's really tough.
It's really getting harder and harder as the decades go on for most writers to do that. But all right, you want to get this started? Stacey, I don't know if you want to watch along, but it's on Look Movie. If you want the link, I'll just drop the link in a second when I can get to it. Alice, do you have the link? Do you have Instagram popped up right now? that you can copy?
I can have a look. Yeah, I couldn't get the
If I
link
bring
to
up
work,
another
but I did.
tab, it fucks my stream.
I
You have
did
to
buy
click on
it.
the link itself. That's why you
Right.
have to click.
I went into Thingy Bob. I just bought it on Prime. It was like a couple of quid on Prime, so I was like, oh, just.
Oh, it's
He
a
said
good
it was.
movie. Oh, for sure.
Well, that's what I thought. I was like, well, it's highly recommended. So, yeah,
Actually,
I'll put that in.
I
In
think
the
I
chat
still
now.
have this. Thank you. Yeah, put it in the chat if anyone wants to watch. But
right.
yeah, I think I still have this actually on DVD somewhere. Like I got like a shelf over here with like that's here to here with the old DVDs and maybe like 2 Blu-rays, then like a few stacks on top of an old DVD player on a shelf over there. That's it. That's all
I found myself rebuying stuff, but your 2008 2009 period, because I'm an old dude, is like my 2001 2002 period. So I'll be buying stuff from.
I mean, it's true, and it's fun.
Rebuying.
It's funny because, like you said, how like it's a product of its time, and it is. And a lot of the music, some of the music is of the 2000s, but some of it is a lot of it's out of the 90s because that's the music that these characters that are in high school or the doctor, quote unquote, Dr. Rick, that he grew up with in the mid 90s, late 90s. So we have Chumbawamba, and we have a little bit of Monica in my life. Who the hell was that?
It's embarrassing. And he's the
Mambo number 5. That's
the Will Arnett obnoxious boyfriend.
Yeah, I think he's much better.
Director.
And that's
really
hard. And that's a hard thing for me to say and admit because I love Will Arnett. You know, Arrested Development's my favorite comedy show, so I love him. But I love this character. That's so funny, and it does remind me of that because like when later at the end when he starts saying all the different Carly nicknames, it reminds me exactly of Hot Rod with him saying "Babe Wade" over and over again. So that you picked up on that too. But all right, I'm going to do a 3, 2, 1, go, and then we will go on go. So
ready when you are.
3, 2, 1, go.
Boom.
I'm just gonna like mute my mic when I know a song that is like a popular song comes up for a second because most of the time
got in the morning. I remember seeing Razorlight around maybe a couple of years before this, and they were supporting Block Party.
Sex Drive. I don't know if Sex Drive sounds familiar. I can't remember that.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
I remember I haven't seen that too many times. Maybe just
for me, it's more like
Miss March. Yeah, it's great.
What's the Tom Green one where he's at a college?
Oh,
where he puts the mouse in his mouth.
Not Freddy Got Fingered.
No, but I love Freddy Got Fingered. But
I haven't seen that in forever too.
I just bought that. I just rebought that again recently. What was it called? Jeez. Not old school, but like it's around that era where I'm like,
the 2000s.
Yeah, the early 2000s stuff for me. Like, and then obviously I kind of start tailing off because it's what you're going to see at the cinema when you have that free time, isn't it?
Yeah, that's around when I stopped watching like major comedy movie releases, like after Step Brothers.
Road Trip, that was the one. That's the one.
Yeah, Road Trip's great. Yeah, Road Trip's a great movie. Euro Trip's another favorite underrated comedy of mine. I love
I've not seen Euro Trip. I want to. Yeah, I want to see that one. Yeah.
Michelle Trachtenberg is in that. It's so sad that she passed.
Oh man, yeah, it's a surprise. I used to like.
Yeah, that was a shock. I looked at it, I said, "No way."
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, so I remember I've seen Bring It On a couple of times. I've seen.
Hey Jamie,
because that's 2000 as well, isn't it? So like they're referencing movies from a couple of years before this. They've kind of certain ones have caught on. I did like Can't Hardly Wait was one that I really liked when that. But again, these are all.
I don't remember that one. I remember I saw it when it came out and then never saw
it. That's a good one. That's like a kind of a bit like 16 Candles, I guess, but a bit more modern. Where you've got like Seth Green's like the white rap.
Seth Green. That sounds familiar. Yeah, I remember that slightly. And Jamie, how you doing? You should if you have the DVD, you should throw it on. We just started it.
Jamie, awesome.
Good to see. Bring it on. Good to see love for this movie.
Yeah, there's there's quite a lot of films that they like in this film, which I didn't realize because in my head it's not a massive period of time, but I suppose it's nearly a decade between Can't Hardly Wait. Sorry, Bring It On and this. So yeah. It definitely
well, when was Bring It On? I don't think I ever even watched those movies.
So it's
but I think it was 99, 2000.
Yeah, 2000. So yeah, like I mean that idea of that evil group of cheerleaders, that win everything up against the other one. Well, I had a bit of a crush on Eliza Dushku, so I remember watching.
Eliza Dushku was fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, and I remember watching Bring It On and just being like, oh man, I love this film. But it actually stands out as a pretty good film as well. There's another one where Ben Foster's in it. I can't remember. Hey Mike, how you doing, mate?
Ben Foster.
Because I really like Ben Foster, an actor, and I remember seeing him in. Because I remember around 2000, Freaks and Geeks was one of my favorite TV shows.
Freaks and Geeks was a great show.
And he had a little part in.
What was the other show too that went along with that?
Afterwards, Undeclared.
Undeclared, right?
Yeah,
it was Freaks and Geeks and Undeclared. Yeah, those are two great shows. I haven't watched those. That launched the careers of everyone in them, basically.
Yeah. Well, the rest of the next decade of comedy. Get over it. That was the one that he was in 2001 with Mila Kunis and Kirsten Dunst, and Ben Foster's the lead guy in that. Cisco's in that one for some reason.
That's so funny.
But do you know Varsity Blues? Did you watch that?
Yeah, I saw it once or twice. I don't remember. It's not really
the spoof of that in because I'd seen all the films. Not Another Teen Movie really hit well with me because I got every single spoof because I'd seen Can't Hardly Wait, I'd seen Varsity Blues, I'd seen Bring It On, I'd seen all these things. So I was like, oh well, I get what they're making fun of. Obviously, it was mainly a spoof of what's the one where she's wearing she's got a ponytail and paint covered overalls. Freddie Prinze Jr. and
I know. I hate him anyway. It don't matter.
I can't think what was that called.
The girls in the chat will get the answers right for the show. We don't.
What's it called? What's that film where
Bring It On was my favorite. Yeah. 6 times.
Hey, Liv. See you again. Long time no see.
Hey, Liv. Yeah, how are you doing? It has been a while. Hope you're doing well. I saw it in theaters twice. My big sister.
I still think some of these stand the test of time. Definitely.
How you doing, Mike? You doing good?
Oh yeah.
Who else is in here? We got Mike. We got Liv. Liv said, "Man, you were thinking of get over it."
Get over it. Was Martin Short in that? I can't remember. Was he the dad? What's the film with She's All That? She's All That. That's the one.
There's so many names. That's 3 words that sound the fucking same.
3 words. Yeah, and my adult brain is
remember.
Like,
yeah, too much.
Can't hardly wait. She's All That. Get over
this one, 2 words. Fire it up, nice and easy.
Yeah.
What happens when you see hot cheerleaders back when you're a teenager? You get fired up. That's it. What happens when you want to start a cheer? You get fired up. Game for football, fired up. Very easy to remember the title here.
So this is the guy who the coach who says shit every other word.
Yeah. He's the he was on Seinfeld. He was the library cop in one of the
okay. I've seen him in something. I think he's been in a few cop things. He looks like a cop guy.
Yeah, he's done a lot of things.
Okay, got you. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't realize this is the guy from Final Destination 5, which I only watched recently. Yeah. And I actually really enjoyed it. It was better than I thought it was going to be because some of those are crap.
Hey, Paula, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Happy Sunday. Hope you are well. Yeah, I was telling Matt backstage, and some of you now that people are in here, maybe some of you will get some of the answers. There is a lot of people, actors and actresses in this movie that have been in at least one horror movie. So let's see if how many people in the chat can get
and Jack Reacher's in this as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's the sort of the sidekick of the main like dickhead.
Yeah, the Dr. Rick.
Dr. Rick. Yeah. I want to call him Dr. Mike for some reason, but I don't know why.
No, Dr. Rick. That's why Dick works with him.
That's when Eric Christian Olsen
dick.
gets to actually show a bit more of his comedic side, because he's sort of sparring with him, and it's kind of a bit like Fletch.
Absolutely,
you know, like Fletch needs
they get to
somebody
riff
to
off
kind
each
of
other back and forth.
yeah.
And you could see it in the
needs
bloopers, the credits of this movie is all bloopers and outtakes and stuff.
Well, I always leaves you smiling when you see stuff like that at the end. It's like Smoking the Bandit,
exactly.
you know, or Cannonball Run or what have you.
And I don't know if I've seen this actress who plays Carly. I know I have in other things, but she was really
she's not she's not like your usual usual lead. What, like, it's not Kirsten Dunst or whatever.
This girl, exactly, like the typical like one they'd pick at the time. Then you got this girl who's a lesbian, and nobody knows it on the team except for like one of them.
Yeah, it works better when you say when somebody says something, nobody sells it, and it's really quiet, and you just have to kind of catch it. It works better. Yeah. It's funnier and more subtle than just like, for me, a lot of the gay panic stuff doesn't land very much, but the more subtle stuff where it's just like someone
where it excels,
telling you something about themselves and you don't notice it. Then that's cleverer and funnier.
Or like little things in the background too, or little lines that you don't hit you the first time and stuff. Like when the gay guy, I always forget his name, Downey, when at the end when Dr. Rick punches Eric Christian Olsen. Like,
then he comes past.
Dolores says Nick, and then he goes Nick and runs over to him. That's subtly, that's fun, like that type of subtlety. It's so good. It's a bit of a thing, a bit of a line, isn't it? Because like, yes, she is, Jamie. That's the other thing that I remember her from.
Oh, Disturbia is the one where the girl takes over.
The Vertigo rip off.
It's not the Shia. Is that the Shia LaBeouf one?
Whatever it is. Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, I saw that at the cinema. Yeah. I get it mixed up with another one.
I saw that movie once.
Where the girl, there's another one.
There's
a girl
in that one,
and there's a girl, and she basically, what does she do? Oh, so she takes over her mum or her stepmom's role, kills her mum off, and assimilates into the family. I can't remember what it was, but it came out around the same time as Disturbia. But it was a little bit creepier because it was like,
sounds familiar actually.
It was kind of slightly incestuous, but really weird. Yeah.
It goes hand in hand. Yeah, it would be weird either way. What's up, Dan? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Mr. Dan. No, I hadn't until yesterday, Dan. So
yeah, you didn't see it until last night.
Yeah,
like this scene here, like they're talking here, and then like in the background they're doing like their routine, and the gay one's in the middle of the legs spread of the other one, like little.
He's
little
like the dude's a bit like the Billy Bob kind of character, you know, like the hefty guy who's a bit of a dumbass.
The two friends too that they go to the party to at the end. They're supposed to leave early. They feel bad.
Do you think that a lot of the reason you like this is nostalgia? Like the same reason I maybe Can't Hardly Wait?
There's definitely nostalgia involved for sure. I mean, and also I just think it's just a very quirky, weird comedy that just isn't for everybody.
The Sister's very good.
Not similar to like comedies at the time, really.
No, I don't. I watched this with my wife, and she said that the Sister was her favorite character. She thought she played that really
funny
well.
As shit. Oh, she's great. Yeah. Poppy, her name is the Candy Cola. How old are you? Yeah, she's great in this. And at the end, they show in the credits and stuff. Well, she does like 8 takes in a row of just like calling this girl whatever, like insult that you call it, lesbian, hey, whatever, and she like goes off on all of them. It's funny as hell.
I remember liking Disturbia.
I think I only saw that movie once because I don't like Shia LaBeouf.
I put it with like Swim Fan as well. Do you remember Swim Fan? It's around the same time.
No, I remember Night Swim from last year or the year before that. Awesome.
I didn't get to see that, but then people said it was very good. So. Dumb and Dumberer, yeah. Do you not remember him live from Community? Born in Community? He was good in that.
Is he in Dumb and Dumber? Fun fact: I've never been a big fan of Dumb and Dumber.
He's in Dumb and Dumberer, so he's the Jeff Daniels character. As a kid, he's a kid, like a teenager. He does his best.
I misread your thing. I just see Dumb and I immediately assume Dumb and Dumber. Whatever it was, I forgot that there was even a sequel to that. Actually,
so the guy who runs the cheer camp, John Higgins, he's so good. He's so good in all the Christopher Guest films like Best in Show and I think he's in Community as well. He's in quite a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's in a lot of things.
Just let him.
Development he was into
just let him go. Like just let him rip.
Yeah, he's great and he improvs it like amazingly. Yeah. There were everybody. Yeah, I never really checked into how much they improved, and I'm guessing a decent amount from the outtakes. Unless they just were fucking around and they messed the lines up and stuff. But it sounds like they were probably given the room to improv a decent amount.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she's good, that sister. She's cool. She did a good job. Yeah.
Like this mysterious younger sister that like runs shady businesses and hustles and stuff. And like you never know what she's up to.
We may have seen her already, but probably the biggest sort of comedy star in this is you've got Ed Rooney's secretary from Ferris Bueller, and she's also the woman who Steve Martin has a go at when he tries to rent a car in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I want a fucking car right fucking now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She's like either coach or she pops up in a minute, I think. And I was like, oh man, it's her. She's so good. Here she is now. She's on screen right now.
Yeah.
What's her name? Margot
Harshman is the one from Sorority Row.
I can't. My eyesight isn't good enough to have a look at the little picture that's come up on screen.
Hey, Ant, what's going on?
Edie McClurg, she's called. Edie McClurg.
Okay. Mm. Yeah, I didn't realize it because I saw Sorority. I think Sorority Row came out when 2009.
I'm not sure.
I think it was the same year, if not 2010. So right around each other, these two. And it took me years, like 4 or 5 years, several watches of both movies to realize that it's Margot Harshman playing this girl here from Chugs in Sorority Row, because she's so slutty and sexy in that movie, and she dies so early. That's one thing.
I don't know if I've seen it,
the Sorority Row remake. They kill her off like 20 minutes into that movie. Best looking character.
Do you know people mentioning like Disturbia and Swim Fan? I think there was an era of like teen kind of pot boilers or Fatal Attraction style type things or whatever. The lighting in them were always quite blue. So I think of these kind of blue films, not blue movies, but blue.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Swim Fan and Disturbia and a couple of others, and that one I said about the girl who kills her stepmom. But yeah, there's weird ones. Dumb and Dumberist. Yeah, we need that if we're going to go into the.
Hey, the bat is in the house. He's in the cave.
That name.
What? Yeah. Where have you seen him before earlier today?
This guy. Turkish.
This is so funny when he starts saying about why they can't go to the coach.
Oh, yeah. I think the bit on the coach where they're all chanting and then it stops and then they continue chanting and they chant everything they do. That's a kind of Simpsons style joke that works really well.
Yeah, they're fired. How do you spell it? F-U. Not really.
Where they're just like, is it this bit where they're clapping and they're like clapping, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing this, we're doing that.
Yeah.
That's so really good.
We are crashing.
Yeah, this is the one.
Crashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you say.
I think what makes it a little bit better than usual fairies as well, that they're not like, they don't win and become number one. They just want to be less rubbish than they are. Like they don't want to win. They just don't want to be. They just don't want to be the worst.
Exactly. They lose to the Panthers all the time, which the head of that team is a model and an actress who was in at least one horror movie. Even if it's not a horror movie, it's very disturbing. So if someone gets that one, that's points there. The head of the Panthers. That's the other cheerleading troop. In case somebody hasn't seen this movie, they don't know.
Have you seen the British
version of this film? I don't know, man. I've never looked into it.
Have you seen any of the In-Betweeners movies? The
British,
British.
I've seen the whole
comedies?
show. The British. I love the British show. That's one of the few British shows that I really enjoy. Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I like some British
that's kind of
humor,
around this time.
it's not my thing, really. I mean, you guys are fucking weird a bit. You know, sorry, I love you.
Staff Lets Flats is a good comedy one as well, and Phone Shop. There's a few, but there isn't a lot now. But there's some weird. Alan Partridge. I'm a big fan of Alan Partridge.
Yeah, there were good ones for sure, and that was one of them. When I stumbled upon it randomly. I think it was on Netflix like 10 years ago or something.
I'm interested what people make of it. Yeah, what people make of the In-Betweeners.
I think it's brilliant.
Who haven't seen that. Maybe if they haven't seen the series, I'm like, oh yeah, because
I don't remember the movies too much. There's two of them.
Yeah, the first
I remember
one's
them being funny.
Spain, and the second one's Australia. They go to Australia.
That's right. Yeah. They're funny.
I think the
show is just excellent, though.
Yeah, they made an American version of it, but it wasn't very good.
No, yeah, I know. I saw some of it. It was fucking awful. That's one of the cases where you guys won with the Brit versus American version.
Yeah.
We are here. We are driving again. We are driving.
That's it. Oh man, Liv, you didn't watch Community. I like JT. You didn't watch it. We pretty much say, "Oh, me too" for most things, Liv. But I'm surprised that you've not watched Community. But I won't judge because I'm sure there'll be something that you watch that I haven't.
That's probably a song that shouldn't be up loud.
How is it? I used to watch Brotherly Love if I ever got a free thing for Disney Channel. The only channel I really could get and watch was CNBC, so that's why I was such a big Conan O'Brien fan, because it was all just stock market, and then they had Conan and the Tonight Show, and then they had Late Night with Conan O'Brien. That was like why I just watched him every weekend, because there was nothing else. I
always liked him.
I just love it. He just won the Mark Twain Award. I was just watching the little thing on Netflix where he won, and it had all clips of the shows on it. And he's a fucking genius. He was amazing. Still is.
Liv's dropping some Disney knowledge. The little sister was from a couple episodes of That's So Raven, and Margot Harshman was also in Even Stevens. I was a big Disney.
I was a Boy Meets World, and I watched Brotherly Love because I remember because I liked Blossom, so I followed. I've never watched. Here we go. We found the thing that you've watched that I haven't. I've never watched the US version of The Office. I love the UK Office. I think it's amazing. However, I'm not a massive fan of Ricky Gervais.
I love Ricky Gervais, but I'm not a big fan of The Office, the British version.
Right. So I like The Office.
I love his
extras. Maybe his first stand-up show, and possibly the awards ceremony stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that was.
I like that when he's skewering people. I like it when he's punching up. I'm not a big fan of him when he's punching down, but I like him as I think the first Office was perfect. Yeah, but I haven't seen the American Office. I know. Yeah, I like Steve Carell because I love Anchorman and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure I like it. Great. I'm sure it's very good. I think it's very different, isn't it?
It's very different. Yeah. And it goes on like most American things versus the British ones for fucking ever. And 9 seasons, The Office went off. I still enjoyed most of it. I mean, Steve Carell left after the 7th season. Right. And he left. And then we got James Spader for a bit acting like a fucking lunatic. And that always is fine in my book. And then Jim Carrey shows up in one episode, real quick for some reason. And Will Ferrell too. And then Kathy Bates shows up for a bit. Then finally it ends. So, I mean, the last 2 seasons aren't that great. But the first 5 seasons,
that's confusing.
Is excellent. I love The Office.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that I will say, because my I don't stick to things as long. I literally will stop in the middle of series sometimes. If I'm 4 series in, and I'll just stop. But it's say Fawlty Towers, for example. It just stops and it's perfect and it's great. Father Ted, it just stops, it's perfect, it's great, and The Office and things like that. But yeah, I think I probably will get to it. I don't know where it's available. Certainly available for free.
Somewhere that's owned, or that a stream service that deals with NBC in some way. Probably.
Yeah. I did watch. To go back to the Disney stuff, I know I didn't have, unless it was a free trial or something. I didn't watch it, but I watched Boy Meets World and things like that, which was my favorite because I was I really like Will Friedle. I thought he was a genius.
You know what's? Have you seen the show Ghosts?
The British one or the American one? Because I know they've done.
Well, I just randomly discovered the American one like a month and a half ago, and it's my new favorite fucking show.
I've seen the first series.
I haven't seen the British one. I'm afraid I'm not going to watch it because I'm not going to like it as much as I love the American one.
Probably not, because I think they're very close. I think they're very almost the same, identical stuff.
Dude, that show, if anyone hasn't seen Ghost, who's watching or watches this afterwards in the replay, it's on Paramount Plus. It's on CBS, but that you can stream it on Prime and on Paramount Plus. It is so funny. It's like the funniest show, and first show that's on basic cable and on CBS. Damn, I don't remember the last time. Probably The Office was like the last.
We're talking about like nostalgia and stuff, and there's a really good. It's weird. It's got a murder mystery in the middle of it, but it's like kind of like you're recording TV. If you've ever seen, it's called Saturday Morning All Star Hits. It's Kyle Mooney. It's all like animated stuff. I'm gonna do like a whole video on it because it's possibly my favorite thing. It's so weird and so well done. It's nostalgia, but it's odd, it's awkward, because Kyle Mooney's not afraid to kind of sit in the awkwardness of stuff, kind of like an Andy Kaufman kind of thing, where he's happy to go with it. Like, I've just bought this, and it's ridiculous because he's playing it like he's quit comedy and he's only into music. But if you listen to it, you can't help but laugh at it. But it is so awkward. So I bought this.
Yeah.
I bought,
it sounds. I know I haven't seen it, but
the real me, Kyle M. I just got it the other day, and nice. It's only like 6 or 7 songs on it, but each one of them kind of spoofs a genre, and but he's not telling you that. He's not telling you what he's doing.
It's a surprise as you first listen.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why is the second song so different in style from the second
one? Or why is it so
the third one so like different from the other one?
Like he can't play all of this. He can't play all of the chords and stuff. It's just so good. He's a genius. He's one of those people who, because of being on Saturday Night Live and they just didn't get him, a lot of his stuff ended up being just released onto their YouTube channel because they just didn't know what to do with him. Because he was just too good. To be honest, he was just too good for that show.
That happened with a lot of SNL cast members.
Yeah.
They were looking at Norm Macdonald.
I mean,
that dude was probably arguably like the most like ahead of his time cast member.
Yeah, possibly the funniest person. And like, speaking of Conan, him on Conan O'Brien, him on Weekend Update, him doing Bob Saget's roast, him
his Bob Saget roast is legendary. This one is for the birds.
He thinks differently, and
it's so funny.
I would just watch the Y2K. I was a bit disappointed because if you like Kyle Mooney, and you watch some of his stuff, you think, I'll watch this Y2K horror film that he did. And it's okay.
Oh, I'd never watched that. It's got that insanely insufferable bitch who plays Snow White that ruined Disney.
Yeah, she's not that bad.
I would never be able to watch her in anything.
It's just a bit light. There's not really that much there. He's in it. He's probably the best thing in it. It's just a bit light, but that's it. I've seen it, and I thought it was okay. But Brigsby Bear is better. The other film he made, but Saturday Morning All Star Hits is just criminally underrated. So good. Tim Robinson again. Liv. Yes, we need to watch some Tim Robinson stuff together because it's I want to see that friendship. That looks again incredibly awkward and just brilliant. Tim Robinson's great. Yeah, he's really good. I wonder why Kyle Mooney and Tim Robinson had never done anything together. Maybe they're just it wouldn't work. I don't know. But you've got two people on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Right? Move out of the way. It's one.
Like if you've got it works better if you've got like one sad clown, you know.
Yeah, it's funny. The move is for Hibidabino. That shit was, I guess, a decent amount has to do with nostalgia because I saw this movie for the first time with a group of friends in the theaters when it came out, and Prohibit Abito became a whole thing that we would say between us.
That's it.
And then a few other quotes too. So I mean, it definitely and I said earlier, definitely nostalgia plays a big role. But
it's like us, like
it's an excellently written comedy for the most part.
Yeah, like my generation, it's slightly everybody was doing Austin Powers stuff, you know.
I loved Austin Powers.
Everybody was doing when the second one came out. Everyone was.
Remember how shocking those movies were, and how the controversy around them when they first came out.
It was weird because
there
it was
so much controversy
in the moment. Like it'd do like a whole Jerry Springer bit in the film. Yeah, it was still on TV and literally the same thing. You could go home and watch that thing that he's making a joke out of. So
that show was ahead of its time too. The first movie, at least. Then I don't think anyone was ready for that when Austin Powers came out.
Yeah. When I was a kid, me and my friends, we watched Wayne's World for the first time, and we both grew our hair out. Mine just goes thick, but we grew our hair out, and we started be like, okay, and like putting our hair behind our ears, just like we were into it, you know. We were into Bill and Ted. We were into.
You want to hear another weird JT fact? Never been a fan of Wayne's World.
No,
never like that.
I mean, maybe it's a bit like we say about nostalgia.
Bill and
maybe
Ted,
if you were like 9 or 10 when Wayne's World
when
came
I
out,
saw that, so yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like for me, it was just like these guys are cool, you know.
I remember seeing Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure. Like as a kid,
yeah,
I love that.
That's
movie.
a great.
I still love that movie.
And the cartoon was like a cartoon. Well, it was a bit of a thing as well because we didn't have Saturday Night Live, but we had 10-minute clips of Wayne's World on BBC Two. So it was this amazing thing you had to like try and seek out and watch, and then Bohemian Rhapsody went to #1 in the UK because of Wayne's World. So it was like a big thing.
20,
Ballroom
20
Blitz
and years, something like that.
Yeah, it was insane.
It was on the charts in the 70s, right? And then it fucking came back when that movie came out. That's crazy.
It's crazy. We're all learning it, and like for a lot of us, it was the first time we heard some of those songs. So here's John Higgins learning how to be a.
He's so good.
He must have had to learn all this stuff about like being a cheerleader himself to be able to be the guy teaching the cheerleaders.
Oh,
that's, commitment.
I wonder how much they actually did have to learn. I mean, a decent amount, because especially Nick and John here. I'm just going to call it characters' names. Yeah, because they're doing cheer scenes and stuff. I mean, there's definite scenes where there's body doubles, but there's a lot of scenes where there's not.
If this was out now, there'd be so much herpes and chlamydia being passed around by these two guys.
I know, right? This is like, and this is still like way after the age scared, decades after. Still don't care.
It doesn't exist in these movies. No, this isn't kids. You know, this isn't Larry Clark.
Yeah, Larry. I love Kids. I mean, I don't love that movie, but it's an excellent movie that I can't watch often.
I remember watching that as when it first came out. My mind was, I was just like, my eyes were just wide watching that film. I was like, geez, that's what it's like in New York.
Oh yeah, it absolutely is. I remember when that came out, or not when it came out, but I remember because when did Guilty Conscience, the song, come out? When Eminem, Dr. Dre, that was 2001. So it was right around maybe then
99 2000
when they make that reference to the movie Kids, and then that made me look into what that lyric meant and what, because I never saw the movie, and then I watched the movie, and then that's I vividly remember watching Kids for the first time. I did a video on Kids like 2 months ago.
I always thought that kid, the what was he who plays Casper? I thought he was going to go on and be like a bit.
Justin Pierce.
I thought he was going to be, because he was in the Friday.
Next Friday, I think. Or next Friday or Friday after
next.
Brad
Renfro wasn't in Kids, was he? No. He was in Bully.
Oh, no.
He was in Bully.
Yeah. That's Bully.
I always thought it. Yeah, I was ashamed.
Fitzpatrick is the other guy.
Yeah, there's a film called Doomsdays Leo Fitzpatrick was in, which is a bit of a weird one to watch, where these guys who they go to people's houses when they're on holiday, like holiday homes, and just move from house to house. It's an interesting one. Yeah, it's a shit. Bogus Journey, Excellent Adventure, stand up. They're great.
I haven't seen it as many times, but it's fun.
The latest one's not as good. But
that's right. They made a newer one. I had no interest in that.
It didn't quite work. But I'll tell you what. I met Alex Winter, and he's a really nice guy. He's lovely. Yeah. He's tiny as well. He's so small. Like, I'm not a big guy, and I was towering over him. So Keanu Reeves must be absolutely, a good foot taller than him.
Coneheads is a great movie. I mean, that's a classic. Night of the Roxbury too is a good one.
Yeah.
90s was one of the better decades for SNL. I said in 70s, 90s, early 2000s.
Well, Dirty Work's
like
getting a re-release as well, and Dirty Work's an amazing film.
Dirty Work's great.
Yeah,
Norm Macdonald, he's great. That's such
Tommy Boy. Tommy Boy was like my favorite film for a long
Tommy
time.
Boy's
when I was
great too. Beverly Hills Ninja was a favorite of mine too. I love Beverly Hills Ninja with Chris Farley and Chris Rock. And what's his name? The guy who's in Mortal Kombat is Liu Kang.
Oh yeah,
the Asian guy. He was a lot of stuff that is Asian dude.
I'm not kidding though. Like some of those films, like Tommy Boy, I think would you could watch it. Anyone could watch it now, and it laughs all the way through. Like it's so good.
Ben's got a point.
The chemistry.
This movie could be paired well with Sorority Boys. Yeah,
I've not seen that. Sorority Boys. I don't know that one.
Sorority Boys I haven't seen in a while, but that's funny. Seeing Telly from
what
kids pop up. My old time shows, Broad City was like a jump scare. Oh, did he? I don't think I saw Bully because I can't remember seeing Leo Fitzpatrick.
I saw that at the cinema. It's quite sad.
Aside
it's based
from
on a true story.
Yeah, I read that because I would remember it because I always used to say that I've never seen Telly, Leo Fitzpatrick, in anything else after Kids. That was the only thing I know him from.
That Doomsday.
I knew he was in another Larry Clark film, and it was Bully, but I never saw it. I gotta check that movie out.
To answer your question, Liv, I haven't seen Detroiters. However, I've had it recommended to me a lot. I know the guy. I like that guy who's I can't think of his name. He's with Tim Robinson in that. I do fancy seeing it.
Yeah. Tommy Boy, yeah, and Black Sheep too. Black Sheep's another one.
Well, while we're throwing movies out there, what about SFW? So fucking what? Cliff Spab, Stephen Dorff film. Like the rebel films, those films where like pump up the volume, where you've got like a rebel.
Oh, okay, yeah.
SFW.
That's wild too. It's like how this riffs off Bring It On, and there's like that wave of like cheerleader movies and stuff. There's so many
Sugar and Spice,
genre niche type of genres in film that have existed.
But I'm a cheerleader is an interesting one because it's like a bit more of a sensitive look at sexuality rather than just like, oh, I'm scared of a gay person. Like but it didn't. Nobody watched it. Like it just didn't do very well. But it actually had a bit of a story to it. Some of them didn't. Oh, look at this guy.
What time are you on? Because I feel like you're ahead of us by a little. It don't matter. But
30. I'm on 35 minutes. Just ticked on to 35 minutes.
Okay, perfect. I'm right there too. I'm good. All good. Godless douche monster. And the fact that that Eric Christian Olsen and probably Nick whatever his last name, D'Agostino or something like that. They're both probably in their 30s, so closer to this movie.
That's crazy.
And I'm sure they did that on purpose, that they looked for people, actors to cast that were that old.
I feel like there's definitely a movie to be made where we do like a teen movie and all of the people are people you remember from teen movies in the 2000s, but they're playing the young characters. Like, for example, Jason Biggs playing like an 18-year-old now. Like Chris Klein, it's not like all the same cast, but they go back to high school and
like nobody mentions nobody matured or changed or anything in any way.
And no one says anything. Yeah,
I love this guy so much. Yeah, and I know I've seen this actor. I know I've seen this actor in other things. The guy who plays Dr. Rick. I can't think.
He's got some comedic. He's obviously improvising a lot. So he's got some comedic things going for him.
He says you look young to be a doctor. He says, "Oh, he's pre-med. Why do you call yourself doctor? Why put off the inevitable?"
Yeah, some of the stuff he says makes zero sense, but
I don't know, all of it does. None of it makes sense.
Yeah, he's convinced. He's convincing, like the way.
He just has like the charisma and like that bigness to his personality, just a huge personality.
Yes, he's the guy from New Girl. That's right. My wife said that when we were watching.
Oh, New Girl with Zoe Deschanel and stuff. Yeah, that's right. That's where I've seen him also. Okay.
That's how washes me. I don't
know
that's the other guy. But
that was a good show.
That's
actually.
The line. There's some good bits in there. The character in that I like was Winston, because over time he
Winston's
became
great.
really awkward and weird, and there's some really interesting stuff happening, which often happens with a side character that gets to develop later on, rather than the person who's at the front all the way through it.
Well, that's usually with any series that goes on for more than 2-3 seasons. They start expanding on stories for background character, not that background, but secondaries and stuff.
He's really good.
Oh, this guy?
No, the
Winston. No, Winston is great, but this guy's awesome too. Yeah.
I just think Eric Christian.
Just so everyone knows, I didn't sleep last night, so I'm a little out of it right now. But this is the perfect movie for this mind state right now. Animal House reference.
He's somebody that's maybe he had like a. It's strange, really, because obviously, like, he was in Dumb and Dumberer, so people could see that he had that kind of manic energy, like a Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels had in that. But then he doesn't do comedies now. It's weird.
I heard what you said, but I was laughing at Liv's thing, which said he was a doctor in that too. Oh, right. He was an actual doctor in that. He's not really a doctor yet, and I don't think he's going to become one. Ben says New Girl is actually your new series that you're running through. Yeah, I stuck it through most of the seasons. I think I just didn't catch the last season or two. Like as years went on,
really liked it.
I really did like it, and I mean, I can watch Celebrity Dish Channel anytime. Like,
I remember Prince being in it.
Yeah, he showed up at some point, right? For some weird reason.
Yeah, I don't know. Not sure why.
I should have rewatched that sometime when I have like the time. I'll never have to go.
Did he really? Oh, that's so cool to hear that. You spot people. It's nice when you spot.
Oh wow, great!
This guy's good.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what actually happened when I watched You, the show on Netflix. You ever see that show?
I thought you meant me. No, I have seen that. I have seen that film. Yeah, I know. I'm a talented guy. What can I say? No,
I know.
The guy. When I was on Netflix, that was pretty cool.
I forget.
I've seen that though. Is it Penn Badgley or something like that?
Something like that. Yes, something like that. But
he was Jeff Buckley in something, but I couldn't bring myself to watch it because I love Jeff Buckley.
He was in the remake of The Stepfather, which is not good.
Oh,
like he's in that. I knew him from that.
Right.
But I'm not talking about him. He's great though. But Jenna Ortega was in season 2 as the younger sister.
Oh, okay. Like, I might have watched that then because I did watch
only that. Yeah, only that season. And I said that was the first time I ever saw her, and that was before Scream. That was before all the big movies. She got X and all of that. And I said, this teenage girl, she's a good damn actress. I think she's going to do good things, and I hope
it's cool when you get to do that.
Then she went on. I fucking hate Scream, but still to land a role in a franchise like that's huge. And then X, and then everything she's done since Beetlejuice, and working with Tim Burton. It's like good for her.
Yeah, man.
I know some people don't think she's the greatest actress. I don't.
But when you watch somebody and you connect to them, initially, it's like me. It's like I love Freaks and Geeks, so I was like, I was
the characters feel real because it's mostly
like Seth Rogen was so funny in that because of his like very deadpan, and just the way he delivered his lines was amazing. It was like his first thing he'd ever did, and I was like, oh, I'm always going to like this guy. Obviously, over time, I don't really care for a lot of the stuff he does now, but like when he first started, like Superbad and
Superbad is so good. I still
and obviously Undeclared and Freaks and Geeks. I was like, this guy's going to be. I mean, obviously they go off and they have a big career, but sometimes you do that and you see somebody and they don't, and you're like, why not? Why didn't that
frustrating?
person?
I know when it happens. Like this person deserves so much more.
Yeah. That's cool that the guy who plays Winston won the.
That's well deserved. Good to see that. Some good.
Lamorne Morris. There you go. I remember his name. Fargo. I've only seen the film, which is great.
The film's great. I haven't seen the series.
Yeah, we got 2 naked dudes
and a whole bunch of naked.
American Pie, The Naked Mile.
But they're cheerleaders in high school. We can't comment that. That's terrible, Matt. Don't say anything like
that.
I'll be interested to see if she can transition to more adult roles as she ages. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one thing that's fun. Like over the years, like over the decades, like as you get older, like my late 30s, like getting into my late 30s, mid 30s. You're in your early 40s. Like now, you look back at like actors that we grew up with that were like young, like when we were young, and you see them now, like so many decades later. It's like, I could have saw this happening, and other times it's like I never saw any of this happening.
And you hope as well, like that female, actors get an opportunity to not just like, oh, they've aged out because they've
because physically
they look, it's not that's not how it should be.
Dude, look at Ellen Burstyn is one of my favorite actresses of all time, and she's fucking almost 90 or is 90.
Yeah, and just being allowed to age without the pressure of having to make yourself all like plasticky, like just like letting people age naturally.
Yeah, you don't want like the Joan Rivers catfish face and shit. Like, so many of them go down the route. That's you don't want it. You don't want to be a catfish.
It's going to be interesting to see how Tom Cruise goes the next couple of years, because he's starting to go down that thing where
he's starting.
He might not be good. He might not be just seen as a good-looking guy anymore.
Oh, with his looks, baby. Yeah. He's been going down a fucking weird ass hole for decades. I never liked him. I never liked Tom Cruise. I've never liked.
I know a few people who have just
don't like his. I hate his personality. I hate his.
Yeah, they just can't separate him as a person from any.
I can't from all the Scientology bullshit.
I like Jerry Maguire.
They're not suing me, Scientology. So I've made jokes about them on this channel. They ain't coming after. They got nothing to take.
Hey man, I'll take your free test. Don't worry, man. But,
Yeah. You get the free e-meter test.
Yeah, if you can give me like a can of Coke or something, or a slice of pizza, I'll do it.
That's why I love that South Park episode that makes fun of Scientology. It's just brilliant. When Tom Cruise gets locked in the closet, and then John Travolta gets locked in the closet, Nicole Kidman pops in there too.
Oh, this is the bit where they're all quoting the bit of, and he goes, "I love Jesse Bradford." Now, what's that film with Jesse Bradford where he's like a street racer or something, like Speedway Junkie or something? I saw that. Man, I used to buy anything that they were selling on from Blockbuster for £1. When they have them and nobody rents them, so they sell them. I buy them all. I get
that's a good way to get bulk of a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, just
back then. Yeah, I remember back when. Before Napster and all that shit and the internet and stuff, when I used to have to tape recorder, and I used to, like KTU or Z100 did like the end of the year 100 best songs of the year for New Year's, and I would any songs that I wanted to get on a tape, and so you would get a tape recorder, and you would record off the fucking radio and stuff. Like
I used to record TV shows onto a boombox, like record the A-Team onto a boombox. I used to do and my parents would have to be quiet. Everybody be quiet. I'm recording the A-Team. I'm recording Knight Rider.
I used to record shows too for the audio. That's so weird.
Mad, really.
So I'm not alone.
You hear people coming in and out of the doors, and you're like, shush.
Yeah, I know, because then it fucked your whole recording up, and then you got to go back. There's no editing and stuff back then. You got to go back and start all over again.
And now there's so much stuff that you can watch whatever you want, whenever you want.
I remember when the VCRs came out with the double VCRs, where you could record from one to the other onto a blank one. That was a nice innovation for the time.
That was my dream.
Well, VHS was still like, a thing.
Yeah.
Well, it still is over on Garrett's channel.
Yeah. Just to have a double VCR would have been like, for me, just heaven.
Oh, yeah. We stole a few over the years. I mean, just like they were cheap. You can get them.
My friend bought in the summer when my parents went away. My friend bought a VHS. We plugged it into my VHS and we recorded more rats for each of us, so we all had a copy. Just crazy.
Oh yeah, this is when they're watching Bring It On. Then I miss when we had 30-year-olds playing high schoolers, so we didn't feel guilty about nude scenes. Yeah, that's why one thing with this movie is that they do that, like all the
like Shannon Elizabeth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and American Pie and stuff.
Like 10 years after being in Jack Frost.
Yeah, exactly. There are some movies though that are fucked up when you look back, and I say it all the time with Friday Part 2. Cassandra, she was my girl when I saw the Friday movies when I was 7, and then Friday 2, Sandra was the sexiest girl. I loved her. Breasts are hanging out and everything like that. Like throughout it. Then you find out years later, when you pass into adulthood that she lied about her age back then, and she was only 16 in the movie. And now every time I watch Friday Part 2, any pre-18 thought from like half a life ago has been pushed out of my mind towards Sandra. It's all
crazy.
shifted to Terry and Vicky now.
Yeah, people. Yeah, and I think as well, like, it
It
goes back.
weird,
It goes back to that.
There's
joke. There's a joke
that.
In Community. Yeah, in Community where like anytime Annie does anything sexy, they're like, "Oh, Annie's pretty young. We try not to sexualize her." It's like a catchphrase that they use a lot. It always makes me laugh because the programmer is sexualizing her, as they say it.
Yeah. That's great. I love self-aware humor like that.
Yeah, that's so good.
That's why Arrested Development's the best show ever. I mean, that's I don't think there's any comedy show that's written as brilliantly as that show.
I was watching the Friday, not Friday, the Fantastic Four thing, and I was thinking of Daddy wants to get his rocks off, you know, because like
Daddy wants to get his rocks off.
You want to see Daddy's thing, yeah.
Oh, that's so funny, dude. Even season 4 is really good. Season 4,
that's the one where it's individual following the individual characters.
Then they recut it. They recut it into a different cut that you can watch either.
I like that. Like the Job episodes were amazing for that.
Yeah. Oh, the Jobs are the best. Job's episode with the bees and all that. Oh, that's great.
The guy with
this is so funny. What? Yeah. Oh, I love that. The guy with the he just keeps stuttering.
Come on.
And
then he has to come back and roofie himself again and again.
Oh, it's so funny. Now I'm gonna feel like watching that show when we end this. This right here, I love this. This is one of my favorite seasons with Dr. Ricky. Carly Horse. All the names he has for her is hysterical too. Yeah. Because they caught him saying with his friends that he was cheating on Carly and with this girl who was biting his badonkadonk. Smells like lavender. And she starts saying, "You smell like lavender." And he's giving these bullshit excuses. The second one here, I die every time. I'm gonna crack up now. Picked you some flowers, Carly. Where are they?
It reminds me a bit of the boyfriend that Tina Fey's character has in 30 Rock.
That's a great show too. That's a great show. He says, "I picked you some for flowers." She says, "Oh, that's so sweet. Where are they? I made a special wish on them and threw them into the sky." And then Nick's face and is looking like, "Oh, come on, she's falling for this." Oh, that's so good.
Beads or bees?
Bees. Bees.
Yeah.
What? Oh yeah, I say bees, and I quote Arrested Development. I put Andale from the show every other review I do. I don't think anyone knows why I put that Mexican song in my reviews. Can anyone tell me? I know Ginger does because I specifically told him because we were talking about it once. But does anyone know why there's Mexican music that starts strumming throughout my reviews now and then?
Was it the Cinco de Ocho?
It's from Arrested Development, not from that, but it's throughout the show. Like whenever there's chaos that breaks out, so anytime I say the word freaking out or freaks out in a review, I play on delay. I've been doing that for like a year and a half, 2 years. I don't think anyone knows that.
It's funny, it's just certain things it clicks in. It's like me. I always think Star Wars. I always think, here's $5. Go watch a Star Wars. Good for her. If anybody reveals himself, I'm always like, like him, because Jessica Walters just so amazing.
Army had half a day. That's so good. Buster is so
like
fun.
Her as well, like her egg. George Maharis. I didn't even realize George Maharis was a real actor from the
That's a great.
That's a real. And then
he wanted to be George Michael, and then he changed it to George Maharis and realized this is bad almost. He was changing his name. So Boy George and George Michael. And he was like, say what? Go Boy George instead of George Michael. And then they show the clip of Boy George. That's so funny. Season 4.
It all works. It leans into the actors' innate being for each of them. So like, I'd imagine, and I think I have heard people say this, that Jason Bateman's not the nicest guy. And that
makes sense.
That makes sense because he has to be that to be Michael. Like he's not.
Well, it's also because he's just as deluded as everyone else in his family. He's just
he thinks he's above it, but
he
isn't.
He's better. Exactly. He thinks he's better than everybody, and that they all need him, and that he's the only one that saves family and stuff like that. But he's just when he's on his own, he's just as oblivious and stupid and a lot of and selfish and all that, just like all the Blues. Hey, Synth. What's up, Mike?
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got a lot of watch parties coming up this week. Not tomorrow. I'm not doing shit tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Monday. Wednesday, I will be joined again by Paul Clemens from The Beast Within, as we will be watching and doing a watch along of Carnival of Souls from '62. And he's like an expert on that movie. He knows everything about it. So we're going to dive deep, me and Paul Clemens, into that film on Wednesday night. And then me, Karen from Spirits and Screams, and not Nanette. I should ask Nanette too, but not Nanette. May from Cinderella, our lovely May. The three of us are going to be watching Wishmaster on my channel on Thursday.
I've seen that. It's a film I've seen.
I've seen, yes, many times. I just saw the Djinn a month ago. He was here. I can't believe he still nailed that voice, Andrew DeVolf.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. I saw that. Was awesome, man. That was really good.
Nailed the voice still all these decades later. Wishes.
It's antiquated. There maybe could be a really good 2000s and 2010s spoof film that people could make now, where you could really, lean
like
into
how it was back then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well,
almost
that's
like a hot time machine kind of thing, where they go back to this period of time.
That's kind of the good thing.
Well, I guess that's a bit like. Yeah,
that you can have parodies do that and go back a decade or a few decades of stuff as time progresses. So you always have some type of material there for like parody.
Well, it's like the Happy Death Day films. I feel like the third one would have messed around with time a little bit more, and it's a shame they didn't get to make it because it's underrated series. There's a lot. It's funny. It's well acted.
I like the first two.
Very creative. Kind of weird stuff going on. I think it was going to get crazier and crazier and kind of have a real Back to the Future feel and a bit. And I thought it was going to be, but they never got to do it. So not enough people saw the second one. So.
Yeah.
Oh man, you saw Rift Tracks live. Oh, that's one of my dreams.
Oh, nice.
It's time for Rift.
Yeah, right. So good. It's good to always know that since the beginning of film, people have been tearing apart and nitpicking stupid shit.
Yeah. Story of my life. My problem with Rift Tracks is that I don't have anybody here in the UK who I'm friends with who likes them. Like I have a friend and my wife.
I like them. We'll
they just don't like MST 3K. Just don't like people talking over movies, which is essentially
they would fucking hate my channel and all.
Yeah, it's the essence of my being. I'm afraid. So like. I'll do it. I'm an only child. I will sit there and riff a film to my dog. Like it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
An audience of one.
Oh yeah,
even she doesn't like it.
A lot of, and we've talked even about this, and then a lot of us in the community that are also have channels and do content and stuff. It's almost like therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Like recording videos and reviews and talking and stuff like that. Even if nobody fucking looks even anywhere close to it, and it gets zero,
it's definitely
views, which is impossible at this point. Like in algorithms, to get 0 views. But even if that happened, it's still worth it because
it's definitely a social. It's definitely a social thing that, like, I've met a lot of really cool people, a lot of them in the chat, and a lot of them obviously your good self, and who just people I like and like talking about. And I don't feel it's an echo chamber because we don't like all the same things.
Absolutely.
And we don't just
important.
We're all allowed to just kind of I really like that side of the people that I chat to. But equally, I'm also somebody who has a limited social battery. So when my social battery is down, sometimes it is good to switch off the stream or switch off the camera and just go.
I mean, we've talked about this a lot, That's why I'll take little week breaks here and there, or something, a week a little longer, or focus on music and focus on the Souls Challenge runs and stuff.
Yeah,
because then I'll just get in like that, like you said, it's just social overload at some point. It's just like I'm fucking relaxing on my time. My free time is relaxing now for the next few days.
It's nice as well to do things out of choice and exactly. I think as well, I've moved from being like in a quite a busy place to quite a quiet place, and it's great 99% of the time. But I'm quite far away from people who I've kind of grown up with, or people like so. This side of it, the online side of things is really cool because you get this kind of
absolutely
camaraderie, jokes. We watch a movie, we chill out. There's no kind of it's just an absolutely lovely thing, and it's really it's been I've been so fortunate to have met so many cool people like yourself, like Al, like Liv, like loads of people in the chat, and Mayan and Gareth and
the list goes on and on.
Mike, it really does.
Why you can't even? I used to do community shout out posts when I would list like 100 channels and shit.
It's so hard because it's so
now a year and a half, 2 years later,
you don't want to miss anyone out.
Yeah, exactly. It's like come on. It's like you all know you are. You're all
and the other thing as well about that is that all of those people are completely different from different walks of life, different countries, different interests.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'll pick up a movie from somebody who will go, oh, have you checked this out? Or I mean, there was a guy today on Al's channel, and we were watching Turkish Star Wars, and he was telling us about Turkish movies and what's going on in Turkey at the moment. And I know nothing about geopolitical whatever, but it was so cool. I was just like, oh, okay, that's his take on it. So obviously, it's his take, but it was just really interesting. And I'm like, that is kind of, without being too cheesy about it, but that's kind of what we're missing a lot is people listening to other people, like and going, oh, that's really different, that's interesting, rather than that's really different, get the fuck out of here. Like,
that's how most unfortunately how everything's been going for a long time.
It seems to be. Oh, so here on the right, here's Jack Reacher.
Yes.
I bet he wishes this film was burnt. He doesn't want anyone to know that he was this guy in this film. It's like, I'm a big, tough, muscly action guy.
No, I was a cheerleader. I was a cheer camp. Now stop lying.
I was in this film about male cheerleaders.
Oh man, you missed a lot, bro. YouTube shut down. It opened
so
back
it opens.
Up. We got sold to China. Now we're here. You woke up. What's new with you?
It opens on these two guys, right? They're hot shit and everybody thinks they're great. But here's the twist. They go to a cheerleading camp. Okay, you're back with us. You're with us.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you miss. Absolutely. Always been a bit. I feel like a lot of us, not all of us, feel that way. I mean, like it to what you were saying, man. I mean, like same thing. I mean, most of my friends are either moved away or not around, or most are dead or in prison, or just walked past that to get off back then.
I can definitely.
There's very few people that I hang out physically with. Like it's like a treat. Like maybe a few times a month if I go out with some friends. It really is.
Oh, totally. And it always surprised me for Liv, for example, when I'll mention something.
At this point, I don't
go, oh, have you seen that? Like, have you seen that? Yeah, I have seen that. That's really cool. I don't know anybody who likes that too. Like,
that's what I was just gonna say. It's like, because like if I was hanging out with a friend like that's nearby and stuff, they're never gonna fucking ask me, "Did you ever see this movie?" and stuff. So I mean, that's the thing. You get so many different people who have different backgrounds, different interests and stuff, and it just blends together in this awesome just community and family.
Yeah, man, that's sick.
Everyone's saying hi, 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 hi. That's cool.
It's sick, man. Oh, I've lost my picture. Oh, there we go.
That's close enough, Dickler.
So when that guy
and I say, what about breakfast at Tiffany's? That was earlier, but it's just so funny. All the scenes with him driving and with the 90s music is just the best parts of the movie.
Yeah.
You're a tool for healing.
Isn't it funny when they get on the bus And like all the bus
Yeah.
stuff is like either a second long or they leave it out altogether. And then in the credits, there's like about 5 minutes of them fucking around on the bus and just riffing.
They probably just had to cut a bunch of it. Probably just laughing a lot. I'm sure they were laughing a ton and fucking takes up left and right with this.
One thing I do think that they missed on this is because they're all the men are so masculine and they're like one and they're calling each other like gay stuff all the time. Is that really what would make it, I think, even funnier is that they're obviously all really gay. Because nobody calls somebody that so much and says that so much without it being on their mind. I'm not saying that in a bad way, but like
or something.
It's like guys I worked with when I was a butcher when I was a kid for like 3 years. I was a butcher, and like all the guys, all they
butcher. Watch out for that, guys, from now on. He's
and all they
dangerous.
that was my. I was in the mob, and these three. There was like all they ever talked about was sex, and that was because they were not having sex. And it's a bit like that.
It's always like that. It's always like that. It's whatever. So it goes back to the loud minority.
Yeah,
basically, it all boils down to the same point. People who complain about shit or have the loudest opinions, they make themselves known and loudest.
Yeah.
This song
I think
hilarious.
Possibly what helps this get away with it a bit is that it's so over the top that you couldn't take it as realism. You know, it's not realism.
Absolutely. This is would never happen in a million years. Anything in this movie.
If anything, needs to have been a major success. Maybe it needed to really lean into the satire and like make it really obvious that they were doing that even more. Like, because there's the bits where it's really big with the doctor. What's the doctor called?
Dr. Rick.
Dr. Rick, and some of the bits where it's really big, then it's hilarious because you know what you're getting then.
Yeah, and then when it sucks back in like a pufferfish a bit, like a reverse pufferfish.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying as well, and it's not as big and boisterous and out over the top. Like,
that's why
over the top.
Yeah, that's why I really like Not Another Teen Movie, because obviously it's like an airplane style spoof, so you know what you're getting.
You know exactly.
But it was before we got disaster movie and all this kind of date movie where it's just like, hey, I'm dressed as this person. There's like actually a joke. And
I love this shit where they show him Downey that he was gay the whole time for him, and he didn't know it. But like all these scenes obviously did not happen in the movie earlier. When they're showing them, like Downey was not there for any of that. Like they didn't even bother to try to make it like
that's
hidden.
That's smarter, like isn't it? Yeah, that's smarter, definitely.
It's I guess because it shows like how oblivious whatever his name, fucking why can't I think of his name? Is like so oblivious to the fact that he didn't know he was gay that he just didn't even notice him.
Yeah.
I will be back in 2 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, so the bit now where they've gone back and they've decided to go back and join the cheerleader thing, there's a bit in the credits where it shows them getting on the bus, and it's dead funny because I was watching this with somebody and they said to me, it's gone from night to day. Oh, it's gone from day to night. I was like, oh yeah, well you have to assume that they've been on the bus, but obviously it never shows that. So I guess we see it in the credits, and they thought they don't need another scene of them on the bus. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that really, other than you have to cut out something to get a movie down to an hour and a half.
Oh yeah,
and that's the perfect amount of time for a movie for me, really.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to get into Fulci's Don't Torture a Duckling for the 5th time earlier this week or the weekend. I don't know. I can't get into that movie, man. And that's like, I've tried. It's one of those films, you have like those few films that you feel are just worth trying multiple times, like more than twice, more than maybe 3 even, because like they're so highly regarded and well like loved by people who love that director.
You want to love them.
Yeah, it's like, what am I missing? And
I was a bit like that with Tron. Yeah, I was a bit like that with Tron. I kept falling asleep watching it.
I never cared for Tron. But I did fall asleep during Don't Torture a Duckling the first 2 times I watched it.
There you go. Yeah,
That's what it is.
I think
the pacing.
the third time I stayed awake, so like I got a better judgment. But the first 2 times watching Tron, I fell asleep. I love it.
Like
I love the visuals of it, but
the visuals are great. But like Skinamarink did the same thing, put me to sleep twice, or maybe it put me to sleep fucking sure twice. The first time I just never woke up. Well, I woke up, but I didn't wake up and finish the movie. Then like a few weeks later, a week later, something, then I fell asleep again an hour into it, but I woke up and regrettably finished the movie.
Do you know what? I haven't fallen asleep watching a movie for quite a while. I used to do loads. I'd like really get excited to watch something, start to watch it, and then I'd be out like a light.
Yeah, that still happens. Not often to me. I don't like if I'm into like if I know, all right, I'm about to watch something that I'm into and I want to like really watch this. Chances are 95% of the time I won't fall asleep. Like, even if I'm tired or something, it's late.
I have to really try and focus.
I gotta be into it.
To watch a film, I used to have to go to the cinema to watch it. And now, because the cinema's so far away, I have to force myself to actually pay attention to a film at home, which is really hard because I can't read books anymore because my focus is for shit. I can't watch films properly. So I have to really make myself watch something.
I get it.
Almost like strap myself into the Hannibal Lecter style chair and watch.
I used to do the same thing with like reading and stuff because I used to read a lot. Then I would go through periods where I would read dozens of books in a year over a few years, and then I wouldn't touch a fucking book for like 5 years, and because I would be reading it, and then like you said, your concentration and stuff, and I'd be like, and I'd get to the end of the page and I'd forget half of not all of.
I'm reading this book. I'm reading this book. This is how much of it I've got left, and I started reading this before I moved. I moved house. Yeah, but it was 3 years. I've been here nearly 3 years now.
Oh, okay. Actually, you just reminded me that I got 3 unfinished books there, right on my nightstand here, right next to my bed that have been there for like at least 5 years.
Has anyone seen this? It's like it's like a horror IKEA spoof.
Oh, is
book.
it?
It's like a horror story. Funny. It's like an IKEA catalog.
That's a cute idea, actually. That's cool.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So it's like Grady Hendrix, who writes quite extreme horror. But yeah, essentially, it's like the IKEA horror.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh yeah, I know, Jamie. I know you don't like Inland Empire. It's so aggressive and it's very different, and I think it is his weirdest. That's probably one of the movies, if not the movie from Lynch, that I can't make sense of the most things, like most about it than any other Lynch film. Like I know what's going on in most of the Lynch films. I even look into theories and videos and stuff I used to do and like hear like theories on it. And Inland Empire, I love, but that is one weird, confusing movie. I don't know what's going on with half.
I know what you mean,
but it's still great to me. But it is different. Like even his directing style a bit and the camera work. And you're right, like it is aggressive. Not like in the Fire Walk With Me way, though. Like in the intense, emotional way, like Fire Walk With Me, in a different, aggressive way. Yeah.
No, I agree because I watched we studied Blue Velvet at university, and you can spend a bit of time just the opening scene, and there's a lot there. But it's a bit more linear, isn't it? Like
yeah. I mean, all of his films. I mean, I'm actually very proud of that Fire Walk With Me video I did. Sorry, Jamie. I felt bad when I started doing the video actually because I thought of you and I mentioned you in it too because we were supposed to watch it like a year ago and we just kept pushing it. But I didn't know how to. I still don't know how to tackle Twin Peaks like as a show. And this is like what usually happens when friends get together that we haven't been together in a while talking. We're not watching this movie at all.
No,
for the most part, but that's
I saw this yesterday.
Yeah, well, that's it, and I've seen it so many times I don't have to even look at it. So basically, we're just here for your guys' amusement, people.
So the only thing I would say is this bad girl group of cheerleaders. I think they could have done with making them actually bad, like doing something bad, because they don't really do it. Yeah, they don't really do anything bad other than just like
they do the
slightly mean
Panthers or whatever they do. There's out claw. And
the lead girl is
nobody
the girl
got that.
from,
Yeah, who?
from the new 90210.
Yes, and was also in the film from 2012 with Tracy Lords. Called.
Tracy Lords.
I do too. I've been trying to get a hold of her. Actually, I messaged her the other day. The first time.
She's
like,
great in Skinner. She's great in Skinner. She's good in so many things.
It's from 2012. Has Annalyn McCord, and it has. I've
got to say
Tracy
as well,
Lords.
Underrated actress Tracy Lords. She's really, really
very
good, and she's stunningly beautiful and really, really good,
and very talented singer and music too.
All right, okay, cool. I've not heard any of her music, but yeah, sure.
It is Excision, the film from 2012, by the way, with Annalyn McCord, and why can't I think of the other guy's name? The guy that plays the father in the family. Tracy Lords the mom. Annalyn McCord's this like fucked up teenager who like has these weird dreams full of bloodshed and killing people combined with sexual fantasies. And then her younger sister has cystic fibrosis and she needs like a lung transplant eventually. And she wants to be a doctor.
So it's a comedy. No,
it's almost. It's like a very dark comedy. Like it's a dark coming of age film that turns out.
Like almost like a John Waters kind of thing.
Yeah. Basically, and it makes sense with the Tracy being in the movie, the star of the movie.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's a great movie. If you haven't seen Excision, check that movie. That has one of my favorite screams in a movie, like to end a movie, and it's from Tracy Lords. Her scream at the end of that movie is fucking frightening. It is deafening. Oh, wow. It is like it's emotional too. Like when you see the movie and stuff, check it out. It's a great movie, underrated as well. Oh. That's like basically the sole reason I've reached out to both Annalyn McCord and Tracy Lords is that movie. I mean, I like Tracy. It's in a lot of other things that I've seen her, which is not like too much. But her and
Ted Raimi and Skinner is a really good,
no, that's good. And what was the movie she was in?
She's in the one
Wynorski,
the big alien guy comes down.
Yeah. Why can't I think of the name?
She's the nurse who
Wynorski. Oh, actually, speaking of that, Jim Wynorski might be coming back on in the next month or two. He's shooting a film right now. Then he said when he's done, the schedule will free up, and
will he talk to me about Chopping Mall for like 3 hours? Because it's like I love that film.
Sure. Yeah, and Ginger already told me. I don't know if Ginger's still listening or not, but he told me, and I sent it to Jim on Facebook because he said, "Tell him to make a shark and saw woman's prison massacre with tornado, whatever the fuck the movie's title. It's insane. That movie, a sequel to it." And I copied, sent it to Jim. Say, "Yo, see, you got a friend of mine who has a desire. So you make this movie." I said, "Get on it, Jim." And he's like, and then Ginger, I didn't tell you if you are here. He did say and answer back that after the movie he's filming now, he's planning on doing that, the sequel to that movie. Awesome. So you might get it.
You might get Chopping Mall 2 as well, maybe.
Imagine. That would be fun.
Chopping Mall 2 and TerrorVision 2. I want Ted Nicolau to make TerrorVision 2.
Yeah, you're right. They could have made the Panthers a little more like, threatening.
Yeah.
The only thing they do is do the stupid thing, the claws, and the head bitch starts fucking around with Dr. Rick.
And Higgins, John Higgins, I think, would have been better deployed as the commentator doing the commentary on this.
Yeah, actually, you're right on that too. I agree.
He would have been cool. Oh, like they use Chris Parnell in Hot Rod, and he's really good doing that. But this guy's not as good. The fella who's the
Chris Parnell in Hot Rod is fucking unmatched. That is some of the best AM radio announcing I've ever heard in my life.
They did a good job with that in Dodgeball too, as well. With them, but I love stuff like that, like Christopher Guest stuff, like Best in Show. They always do that really well. But like in Dodgeball, like was it the Odd Show? That's Jason Bateman, isn't it? Who does that? He's like in Dodgeball. He's the guy who's like on ESPN 8, the Odd Show, and he's got like frosted tips, and he's like an X Games guy. Yeah, Crybaby, that's a good film too. When Johnny Depp was beautiful before he became Keith Richards. Keith Richards is beautiful. So it's all good.
all the great classics in the theater.
Oh man,
yeah.
And I just some of these things that Jamie's seen in the theater, I'm like,
this stuff is so funny. with her, with the Staples, with the sister, with Poppy, and she said, "I got you a deal." And now she just went down the bleachers to the guy. I think it's 40% recycled. You got the 50% recycled? Yeah, it's called ass paper or whatever she says. This is the restroom and stuff. Just take it; it's free. She's so funny in this. She does a great job.
You know, all those mascots. I know somebody who's a mascot or who's been a mascot,
really?
And at the end of the day, they almost like nearly dehydrate. They get so ill.
I can imagine.
All your germs are bouncing back on you. You're sweating. You feel sick. You're getting pushed around. It's like a really horrible job.
And I would not be a mascot and find something else to do. Literally anything else. Because that sounds like shit. Mike says, "I've never of this movie."
I think
you mentioned heard of it.
I think you're the same as me, Mike. Though I hadn't. I hadn't either. I think the UK we didn't get this. We didn't get this one.
Yeah, no, because it didn't even do well here in the US.
Yeah,
like
I don't even think we got.
Most people wouldn't even remember this movie. Like that lived.
We didn't even get over it. We didn't even get over it at the cinema. I just watched that as a on Sky TV.
Like what I was saying earlier, and Liv, I think you said it right. I don't know why sometimes, sorry, Liv, if I say Liz, it's just like the more common one. It just comes out because my mind races.
My goddaughter's called Liv as well, which is Olivia.
But yeah, what you said earlier, Liv, about oh, now I totally forgot what I was talking about because you brought up something else. Not your fault. Something though, something I agree with you about, Liv, which is not an uncommon thing. So.
Oh yeah, mascots is the one with Ricky Gervais in it as well. Yeah.
Like all this risk to get the biscuit stuff is stupid. Like that's corny as shit. Like,
I think you were saying we were saying about movies that didn't make it like over because I was saying like Can't Hardly Wait.
Oh yes,
the UK and
keep going though before I jump in with what I was.
That was
thinking.
it. That was it.
No, that's what we have. Okay, all right, that don't help me then.
That's what we were saying.
Okay. But it'll come back in a minute.
Yeah.
Something that we agreed on that I agree with.
Yeah, being in a mascot costume, as Jamie's saying, the closest I had to that, I used to be Santa Claus quite a lot, and that really doing the voice all the time, my throat was ruined. I've grown into the part over the years. But,
now you gotta like dye it white and shit. Though.
To be fair, I don't really need a lot of costume.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. Liv. Well, wow, I still had it in my head. Miss March that we mentioned earlier.
Oh, Miss March, that's another one we didn't.
Nobody saw that at all. You ever hear that? I don't even know if many people heard of these people. The whitest kids you ever knew, or the whitest kids.
I've heard of them.
Some shit like that. There were two guys that did like a sketch show or something like that, and they made this show in 2010 that no one saw. I said I saw my sister back then. It was just two people besides us in the theater. That's it. And then it was out of the theater in a week. It came in, it went out, and it was gone. No one ever mentions it. But it's stupid. It's so stupid. But it's funny. It's still fun. It's funny as hell. With some
like good acting stupid in an intelligent way, and it works. Like,
why is kids
he's like the smartest. That's me. I'm Tim Allen without the drugs bust. That's me.
That's a good one.
Oh, Mike. Yeah, agreed. We'll get. Yeah, let's all watch a movie together.
Actually,
let's watch a movie that JT's never heard of.
Oh no, actually, I just messaged Gareth this morning. This at like 5 a.m. Then totally remembered 12 hours later now around 5:40 p.m. To answer him back. But I messaged him. I said, for anyone who doesn't know, like Dave's passing, our dear friend Dave, it's been a year. I can't fucking believe it's been a year already.
I know. I've been thinking about it.
I messaged Gareth this morning. So I said if for all of us, Mike, you, me, Ricky, everybody, Gareth and stuff, and do like maybe a stream sometime this month, like as a little like year, remembrance type thing.
Totally. I've got something that I did not long after, and I've held off on doing it. I didn't know the right way to do it and stuff, and I just kind of
I know.
I didn't. Something me and Larry did, and it was it's tricky.
Yeah.
It's tricky because I don't want to. Yeah,
and also Mike's like, yeah, we got to do some other stream, like on like not depressing stuff. We got to like do some other streams too. Fucking start streaming already.
Let's choose some niche British comedy that never made it to the US.
Yeah, I always forget. I always want to say the whitest kids on the block, or the whitest kids you remember. Or some shit
it's the whitest kids on the block.
Yeah,
maybe you're thinking of New Kids on the Block.
New Kids on the Block suck a lot of their Chinese food.
Is that what they said in that song, LFO?
I think so, right? I don't know.
New Kids on the Block, something.
Suck a lot of
Abercrombie and Fitch. I don't think they say suck a lot of dick.
Well, maybe that's like a parody I'm thinking of, or something.
Maybe that's maybe that's what you.
I know that those are lyrics to.
You sometimes you put. Yeah, it's a bit like like rhymes you learn as a kid, and you think like Fraggle Rock. I always thought Fraggle Rock was like down at Fraggle Rock, grab a Fraggle by its cock, but that's not in the lyrics.
Fraggle Rock, Pepper Jack, love Fraggle Rock. You know what that's from?
No, man.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh right, okay. Not seen that. Not watched it.
You haven't seen It's Always Sunny? You've never watched.
And I won't now because I don't like that guy. Because my football team are in rivalry with Wrexham, and I don't fuck with Wrexham anymore.
Did anybody else get the Pepper Jack joke in chat? Did anyone get it? Liv probably. Did I see a JT smile face or laughing? Did you get it? Because that's so funny.
Okay. So Barbarian, I didn't know.
Actually, let's not miss this.
That's maybe why it's familiar.
Thank you, James. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I kind of.
Oh, the white kid came up with Barbarian. Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah. That is.
Wait, what? I didn't know all that. Barbarian, the Castle Freak urban ripoff that I didn't really care for that much.
Yeah, that Justin Long. Yeah.
Okay, that was written or something by half of the whitest kids, you know, Trevor or the other dude.
I remember
Trevor, the long-haired guy. I'm gonna die. I never do that.
Zach Krager. Yeah,
that's the other one. That's the guy who gets in the coma and shits himself in the hospital in this March.
It's funny because I didn't think of it much at the time, but if you think the Justin Long character is really interesting.
Absolutely,
how it just juxtaposes with the other guy, like, and how self-pitying he is as well. Like it's a lot better. It's a lot better than I thought, but I don't think I want to watch it again, if that makes sense. But yeah. I think Justin Long's character is interesting.
I thought it was good, and I think Justin Long is a good actor. He just doesn't have and I don't even want to say he doesn't have a lot of range. He does have some range to him.
Yeah, but I used to watch Ed. That was a good show. He was good in Ed.
Oh yeah, that's right. I totally forgot all that show that he was in.
Warren Cheswick.
But like his characters in like Jeepers Creepers and what's some other one, like Tusk is more like arrogant prick like Barbarian. But like those are his two modes. Like the nice Drag Me to Hell, the boyfriend of Christine in that movie. Like the nice guy, you know, straight-laced guy. So he's good. I like him in those roles more than his douchebag roles, which is where he's been going more lately, like in his career, like later in his career, the more recent years, like with Barbarian, the aforementioned Tusk. He's a douchebag in that too.
One of my favorite films I watched last year came from a comedy troupe. It was called Milk and Cereal, directed by Curry Barker, who's in a comedy troupe, and it was like a kind of it's a horror film, shot like what do you call it, found footage style, and I don't usually like found footage, but I really enjoy it. It's free on YouTube as well, and he did one called The Chair as well, which is a short. But they're called That's a Bad Idea, which is similar to the whitest kid.
The troop's name,
and That's a Bad Idea. But Curry Barker's film,
Liv just killed me with that. One of the whitest kids directed and wrote Barbarian, the handsome one, because instantly, if you know them and can picture in your head, you know who exactly. That's so funny. And I stabbed her in the face. Well, I know. You got to check out Miss March. That's at least a one-time stupid comedy watch.
I never even heard of it.
Nobody did. Like, unless you were, I was working at a movie theater. Then that's when I worked at the Regal Cinemas. I was a shift leader for like a year and a half, from late 2008 to like early 2010. Okay. And I remember, and that's why I saw every movie that came into that theater. Like for those 2 years, like a little over 2 years, I saw every film that came in there. Orphan, I specifically remember, which I love that movie, but I remember her singing the song in the trailer, Esther, when it's the Gloria, that shit. I would hear that in between every showing for weeks at a time. So, I didn't want to see the movie because of that, and thankfully I put it aside and I didn't, because I do like Orphan, and the First Kill prequel was pretty good too. Yeah, Mike. I mean, I don't think it's really good. It's all right. It's good. The design and stuff of the whatever it is, the mutant fucking.
I think Mike told me that.
It's Castle Freak in urban land. That's how I'm always gonna see it. But it's good. I mean, there's stuff in it. There's good stuff in it. There's good acting. Yeah, Bill Skarsgård, right? He's in the beginning of it.
I think that's good. That obviously you're supposed to think he's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, it does flip it like that. Yeah,
it works
kind of like
really well.
Psycho-esque. Gotcha. Half hour and
for sure.
Yeah, they end with the little bloopers. It's such a fun movie. I'm glad to see some love for it in the chat from some people. I know Liv used to quote that Pepper Jack. See, I knew you got it, because you haven't seen ever an episode of It's Always Sunny, Matt.
Maybe one. All right,
so you know Dennis. You know Dennis, the cocky guy who's like the leader.
Yeah.
And then like the girl is his sister. So they're in the park, and I forget what they're looking for. They're stalking to try to like pretend to kill people, like if they were serial killers and they could kill people. They were like practicing how they would do it, but they're taking it way too far, and they're stalking these people. So then they're in the middle of this park in the middle of the night, and this pimp shows up, and he's like, "All right, bitch, you work for me now." And then like she's like, "No, you're getting the wrong idea. I'm here with him." "Oh, you're with him?" "No, it's my brother." "Oh, okay. Well, you're with me now." "No, again." "All right. Well, you got to give me something." "Oh, I got this Fraggle Rock thermos." "Fraggle Rock?"
"Oh wow."
Pepper Jack loved Fraggle Rock, and then he takes the Pepper Jack. The Fraggle Rock thermos. That's it. You got to see it. Man. You got to see it.
He's in good company.
Doesn't do it justice. But
well, you did a good job. You did a good job.
Pepper Jack. Yeah, Matt, it is. It's very good, actually.
Yeah, I'm sure Mike's told me about that before. I'm pretty sure Mike's told me that.
Well, prequel, technically. Yeah, there's gonna be a sequel now. There's a third movie. I heard in the works. Which, I mean, they better get this third one out of the way quick. I don't know how much older she can get and go back and play Esther, believably, because that was one thing they did great with the prequel. And yes, I know Mike is corrected right under. I know it's giving you shit, but I'm interested to see where they go with a sequel to it. If that's what it even is a sequel. It has to be in between First Kill and the first Orphan, because her ass is dead at the end of Orphan, the original movie, unless they just bring her back from the dead some stupid way, but that'll already start the movie off in a way that won't make me happy. Who's renting an Airbnb in the middle of gang territory? yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you can do with that. I mean, I do it in every movie. But yeah, I mean, that's another thing. But at any time, and I know it's Castle Freak is not the only movie to have a creature, deformed person living in the place that another group of people or some people are in, don't know what's there, and then it starts killing them. But I think it's the best movie like that. I mean, it's my favorite Full Moon, under the Full Moon label. It's my favorite Full Moon film.
Cellar Dweller is a good one as well. It's
that actually that one, it's really good. It's good, yeah. And what's the Unnameable? Unnameable, when he's locked up in the attic, Beast or something.
What's the one that's just like Castle Freak, but it's just the same, but it might even be in the same set.
Well, the Unnameable is basically like Castle Freak, but it's in like a abandoned house or like an old frat house, like something like that. Not a castle.
I can't remember. There's maybe 2 castle ones that I get mixed up that are pretty much the same thing.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. They might even both be Charlie Band. I don't know.
Oh, it could be, yeah, for sure. Because when I think of that, and I think of deformed person, like with The Boy, too. No, not The Boy 2. That movie sucked. Brahms, The Boy 2. That movie's atrocious. The first Boy with Maggie from The Walking Dead. I always forget the actress's name.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean, but I've not seen the movie. But
it's not good. You don't have to bother with it. But the whole thing is, she thinks this doll she's supposed to take care of for this rich couple that leave her to take care of their doll like it's their actual son, and she's getting paid for it. So like it's cool at first, but then the whole twist is that it's nothing supernatural with the doll. The actual son is living in the walls of the house and comes crashing out of a mirror in a stupid scene. And as soon as that movie came out and I saw that, I said Castle Freak. Like that was way back then. Anytime ever since because I saw Castle Freak young. Because I had the movie, I still have the movie Maniac figurine and stuff. And I remember I was young when I got that and saw the movie. The Boy 1 is fun. It's not too bad. You're right, Mike. I could watch it. I think actually I did both of them the first year of the channel, like 6 months in on some holiday. Was it New Year's maybe? Like after like my family left and I was drunk as shit by the time we got to The Boy 2. So I mean, if you want to see drunk JT, which you don't see often because I'm not a big drinker, check out my old video of Brahms The Boy 2. Because I think that was it. I'm pretty sure it was that one. But yeah, that wasn't that. The second was terrible. First one, you can have fun with it. But yeah, that's fired up and not really, but like a bunch of other movies and talk. And
we talked about a lot of movies
on a Sunday evening.
We forget all those ones from around that time as well. There's a lot of forgotten movies there. So it's pretty cool to chat about them, for sure.
Well, that's another thing. That's why I like doing like watch alongs that go off the rails like this a bit. Because that's how me and Dave would do it all the time. Every time me and Dave would, like, we'd pay attention sometimes stuff, but it would always just be me and him laughing and not talking and just whatever, and very little about the movie. So and I love every second of it. And same with you, man. Every time we do this.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Oh, I appreciate that. Same here. It's been really cool.
What we're watching, what we're talking about, or whatever.
Well, everyone's thrown so much stuff
and
at
everybody
us as well,
in chat too, as always.
They've thrown so much cool stuff that sometimes I'm writing stuff down on my list so I don't forget.
Yeah, I got 4 or 5 lists at this point. I got to start.
I keep forgetting. I've had to go back through and start deleting stuff because I've got 500 films to watch and it's not going to happen. You know,
the biggest
maybe
thing
I'll watch one a year for 500 years. We're fine.
The biggest thing now is like there's so many options with streaming. I can't pick what to watch a lot of the times. Like I'll spend 20 minutes like some nights. Like I start my night with trying to watch them or pick a movie to record and do a video on. I'll spend like 20 minutes just browsing through Tubi, through Amazon, through HBO Max, through fucking anything. I'll start Googling like horror movie randomizer, and I won't be happy for the first 90 tries. You know, no, next movie. I don't feel like the next one. It's like it's so many choices out there that it's almost impossible to like pick something unless you're in the perfect mood and you see the perfect movie. That
you just end up saving it,
and you just go, that's it. That's what I'm watching. Perfect. It was like the stars aligned, and that's what I meant to watch tonight. But always a blast, man. Everyone in the chat, always a blast. Liv, Mike, I don't want to forget anybody. Fucking Jamie,
everyone.
Ben, Anthony was here earlier. Ginger, Synth. I think that's everybody. Maybe.
Al was here.
Forget some. I'm gonna forget Al. See, I didn't forget you, Al, because he brought you up. Thanks, Matt. we got Al.
You said Anthony
and Stacy and Mr.
Dan. Stacy was here right at the beginning.
And Paula, which I've never seen that name before, so hopefully welcome.
Oh, that's cool. If you're still here. Hey, Paula.
But welcome, and if not, welcome and so long. But I hope everyone has a good night. And what's going on in your channel soon this week?
So 2 more episodes of Ghost Stories every Sunday. This week is the film pairing is Psycho 2, which has just come out today. We're talking about Psycho 2 and Steve's story. And
I gotta listen to that. I gotta watch that.
That is a good one. And next week,
Psycho.
The film pairing. Well, last week was Nightmare Beach. The film pairing was Nightmare Beach.
I love that. Welcome to Spring Break.
Is so good.
She didn't really direct it.
And next week's is Prince of Darkness. So there's quite a lot of movie chat, and
you've been killing it with those, getting them out.
Steve's a bona fide legend, and just his history in British comedy, the Muppets, the Spitting Image, and all of the things. But his knowledge of horror is like horror books from decades and hundreds of years ago is just out of this world. So yeah, got that coming up, and nice. I've got a new series that I want to start, but I'm kind of working on that and waiting to see what happens with the with the channel. But there's Who Framed Roger Rabbit watch party I'm doing Bret Hart hit Wrestling with Shadows. Hopefully me and JT will get together and do some stuff soon. Absolutely. But no, thanks for asking. Thanks for having me, and I really appreciate you, everybody in the chat, but particularly getting to spend some time with my good buddy from the US of A.
And we had a lot of people in here tonight. Like nice, all the good ones. Not to say anyone sees the future bad. You're the good ones too. Anyone who hears me say you're the good ones, you're the good ones. So it covers everybody. So we can't get in trouble. Roger Rabbit, so you may live happy. When are we getting the Skinamarink watch on? Fucking never, yo. The only Skinamarink party watch party I'll ever give is the trailer I did for Skinamarink-a-Doo Electric Boogaloo on repeat for an hour and a half straight, and I'll upload that, and then you can watch that shit over and over again because I'll never watch that movie. Are you kidding me? Synth, always a pleasure, man. Yeah, I saw your email earlier, Synth. I gotta email you back. Because we might I got to do that Demon Night, Tales from the Crypt Demon Night thing. That watch party never wanted to happen. I watched along. I kept having to move it, and Nanette was going to join me, and then she couldn't make it, and I couldn't do it, and she couldn't do it, and then I just said I private that shit until I'd figure it out. So Synth might join actually. So we got that. We got Wednesday with Paul Clemens from The Beast Within. I said at the beginning of this, joining me. And we are going to be watching and talking Carnival of Souls. So if you're a Carnival of Souls fan, and if you're a Beast Within fan or a Paul Clemens fan, come hang out on Wednesday at 7 p.m.
What if I'm a Clarence Clemens fan?
Then you're close enough. You get there.
I'll be there.
You'll get off. You'll get off. You'll get off. You'll get close to get off.
Sex man. Sex man.
Oh, thank you, Jim. Yeah, those are so much fun. That movie sucks. Yes. Yeah, Skinamarink was terrible. It was awful. I guess. And then we have the thing with May and Karen on Thursday, Wishmaster at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard. And Carrie blew away every other movie in the poll for next deep dive. So I guess Carrie's the next movie. I'm not really thrilled about it. I mean, it's a great movie. I'm not a big Carrie fan. I've never loved that movie. But I also haven't seen it in like 10 years. I don't watch that
it for a long time.
I've seen it maybe 2-3 times, and then I've seen the remake once or twice at least, and the story inside out. But Piper Laurie is fantastic. So I mean, she's the saving grace for me with that, and De Palma's directing. And Sissy Spacek's great too. It's a great movie.
That reminds me.
I don't care for it.
Badlands again. I need to watch Badlands again because I love that film. Sissy Spacek and
so we all got stuff we got to do. All right, guys.
Yeah, I'm on it now. I'm gonna go.
All right, then. Have a great night, everybody in chat. Have a great night, and enjoy the rest of the weekend that you have left. We got like 6 hours here, so take care, guys. Awkward ending when we don't know when it ends.